We are live. Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm doing good. We've been talking
Have
for the past hour, so you already know.
yes, there's echo. Oh no, it's okay. Um, so there are people who seem to be even in our audience, in our community,
Yes.
who have been buying into some of these voter fraud allegations. What's up with that? That doesn't seem right. That
Um,
doesn't. I
what
mean,
about that doesn't seem right? The fact that it's from our audience or the fact that anyone is buying into it, period.
well, both. But I mean, if you look at these voter fraud allegations, they're like so comically delusional. I can't even understand how anybody is taking them seriously. Hey, Deborah's here. Hi, Deborah.
My favorite. Deborah's my
Yes.
new mom, by the way.
Aw.
I asked her if she would be my mom, and she said yes.
Aw. So we're gonna go over some of these fraud allegations, just like two, just two of them, and we're just gonna look at them and like two of the serious ones, right? Two of the
Yeah,
like people like,
not Sharpie Gate. Sharpie Gate is like
oh
too.
my
It's
god.
like shooting fish in a
Ugh.
barrel. It's not even interesting.
But all of them are like shooting fish in a barrel. That's how bad they are. They're so bad. It's I'm like they get spread like a virus, and then you like look into them, and then like, oh my god, is this what you guys have? And then before they're already spread everywhere, before you even get to
Hmm.
before somebody actually gets to even address it, and and it takes so easy to spread this misinformation, and then it takes like so much to actually show to people how ridiculous they are, and then by that time people have already believed what they want to believe anyways, like, and the corrections of these allegations doesn't get as much attention as the original claim itself. That's the problem with these kind of conspiracy theories, like, and it's so much easier to spread them than and it takes a lot more nuance to like correct them, but the cleanup crew is just like is never going to be able to catch up with the people that are just spraying their bullshit all over the place, right?
Yeah.
So, um, right. Let's look at this. Okay, this is one of them. I'm going to show you two of them. Okay, and then we're going to play. So you guys know, what's this guy's name again?
Robert, I believe.
No, wait, Richard Hopkins.
Richard. I knew it was
Richard
an
Hopkins.
RH.
Yes. So this Richard Hopkins, guys, this is like the main one the MAGA people are mentioning. Like this guy saw something, and it's amazing that we have like
This was their best bet.
this
This
was their
is
best bet,
what Lindsey Graham brought up.
guys. And again, we have like atheists here in the like in our community that if they say like, oh yeah, I saw a miracle, blah blah blah, they start laughing at people. And this guy just said like, oh yeah, I heard somebody say something, and I think it was voter. Like, what did you hear exactly? Like, as soon as you spend like half a second looking into this voter fraud allegation, people are like, this is your evidence. Like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that this is one of the main. Okay, but let's look at it. Okay, postal. Okay, I know some people are gonna have a problem with this. People are gonna say he didn't recant, but he did recant. He recanted, and then he he went back to Project Veritas and said, I didn't recant. But if you actually listen to his own recording of it, he did recant. But anyways, let's get into it. Okay. All right. Postal worker recanted allegations of ballot tampering, officials say. All right, so let's
Wait,
look
can
at
I
this.
read it?
Yeah, you read it.
Okay. Should we start with the bullet points or just go straight to the article?
Go straight to the article.
Okay. Erie post office allegations. The Postal Service's Inspector General told Congress on Tuesday that a postal worker in Erie, Pennsylvania, who made unverified claims about ballot corruption had recanted his initial allegations in a sworn affidavit. The original claim was first made in a video posted by Project Veritas, a far-right organization that has been subject to numerous lawsuits accusing it of engaging in deceptive reporting tactics and coordinated election disinformation campaigns aimed at undermining the voting process. So real quickly, my commentary is that when we or other people call Project Veritas far-right, that is not us just calling a typical right-wing or conservative organization far right because we disagree with them, right? That's not our style anyways. Like, this is accurately identifying Project Veritas as far right. They are far right. This is not hyperbole. This is not us just calling names of our, ideological enemies, so to speak. No, they actually are a far-right organization.
They're worse than just far right. They're like they're criminals. They do legit fraud. They're knowingly. I mean, honestly, I think calling them far right is too charitable to them. Okay, because I know a lot of actual far right people who are like evil, but they're not dishonest. They actually believe their own bull crap, and they think that they're saving the planet or something, right? They're saving the world or their country or their own race or whatever, and they are honest about their ideas, even though their ideas are dangerous. But if you look at what Project Veritas does, you know that the people behind them, when the way they do editing and the way they spread information, you know that they're purposefully lying to their audience, like they know that they're doing it, right? So it's hard to imagine that you could actually be worse than far right, but yeah, you can be, and that's Project Veritas. But let's go continue. Yeah.
In the video, the postal worker, who has since been identified as Richard Hopkins, claimed he overheard his supervisor and Erie postmaster Robert Weissenbach calling about backdating ballots that were postmarked after Election Day so they would appear as though they had been received on time and thus could be legally counted. Pennsylvania allowed mail-in ballots that arrived up to 3 days after the election to be counted, so long as they were postmarked by November 3rd. Notably, Hopkins was not named in the video, meaning the original Project Veritas video where these claims were first made, where his face was blurred and his voice was distorted. After the story started gaining traction, he allowed his name to be attached to the claims, and Project Veritas revealed his identity. When your claims first appear through Project Veritas, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. And also when this guy went to Project Veritas directly, right? Before any other media, or did he try other places first?
I don't know if he tried other places. I know that these claims were first made public by Project Veritas.
I do think that if he went to Project Veritas right away, to me it seems like that means he was already ideologically in a position to see fraud against Trump, even if it's not there. You know what I mean? Like if you're already buying into certain conspiracy theories, then you're gonna see patterns or like fraud or some sort of conspiracy, like
if he was inclined to go to Project Veritas first, assuming that he did go to Project Veritas first, then that is possibly speaks to a level of confirmation bias.
Exactly.
I think that there may be actually other motivations in terms of Project Veritas's history of having their so-called whistleblowers immediately receive lucrative GoFundMe campaigns. But we can get into that more later. So, election officials in Erie County denied the allegations. Erie Postmaster Weissenbach said in a statement that claims made both against himself, the Erie Post Office, were 100% false and were made by an employee that was recently disciplined multiple times. But President Donald Trump and his allies, who have been claiming, often without evidence, that there was widespread fraud in this year's election, immediately jumped on the story, arguing that his claims were credible because he had given his account in a sworn affidavit. Okay. Yeah, because people don't lie, in court, even when they say that they're not supposed to or whatever.
No, but to be fair, if I know like people just throw out like random claims here and there, but if it's a sworn affidavit, then like because there are consequences.
Yes,
I mean, it's still
incentivized from lying.
Yeah,
it still
so
happens though.
Yeah, it still happens, but you should take it a bit more seriously than when somebody does that, right?
Yeah. Because I would not mess with a sworn affidavit personally.
No.
Personally.
Yes.
Okay. So on Saturday, Senator Lindsey Graham, who is a Republican from South Carolina, cited the original affidavit, which he also gave to the media, in a letter he sent to the Department of Justice, or the DOJ, calling for a federal investigation into the matter. The DOJ official said that the claim was one of the cases that Attorney General Bill Barr referenced in an unprecedented memo he issued Monday, authorizing and encouraging federal prosecutors to open investigations into credible allegations of voter fraud and irregularities before election results were certified. The emphasis on credible allegations. Emphasis once again on credible. Okay, so the shocking move represented. I actually got you to laugh this time. Yay! The shocking move represented a reversal of a long-standing policy that prevented the department from launching launching any election-related investigations before all results were confirmed. The Trump's campaign also mentioned Hopkins' testimony in a new federal lawsuit filed against election officials in Pennsylvania on Monday as part of an attempt to prevent them from certifying the state's election results. Any commentary on what we just read above?
No, I really want to get into playing you the audio of what because he actually recorded. So they say he recanted, okay? And then but then let's get to this because I have a comment I want to show you. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So next section: recanting reports and new videos. However, on Tuesday, the Washington Post reported that Hopkins had told investigators from the U.S. Postal Service's Office of Inspector General, which had been officially investigating his claims, that the initial allegations he had made about the backdated ballots were not true and that he had signed another affidavit officially recanting his claims. The House Oversight Committee confirmed the Washington Post's report in a series of tweets. Quote, Erie, Pennsylvania, #USPS whistleblower completely recanted his allegations of a supervisor tampering with mail-in ballots after being questioned by investigators, according to the Inspector General, the committee wrote. Quote, the #USPS IG investigators informed committee staff today that they interviewed Hopkins on Friday, but that Hopkins had recanted his allegations yesterday and did not explain why he had signed a false affidavit. It added. So yes, that's just the same tweets. Shortly after, oh boy, here we go again.
Yeah.
Shortly after, Project Veritas founder, good old James O'Keefe, posted another video of Hopkins denying that he had gone back on his story. I'm here to say I did not recount my statements. That did not happen, Hopkins said, before demanding that the Post retract their article. So here's the tweet from James O'Keefe saying, I did not recant. Sean Boberg and Jacob Bogage have been played by the same federal agents on the audio coercing, scaring the whistleblower to water down allegations. As reporters, they're required to include Richard's denial. Required.
You know, they keep saying that they scared him, and you watch the interview, and the investigators were not intimate. Like, I've been through hostile investigations, and I've seen hostile investigations, and these officers, the way that I wonder how many people that are believing.
What did the Israelis do to you?
No, I wonder how many people who actually keep thinking like, oh my god, he was threatened, he was scared. How many of them actually watched the recording of it? Because it was one of the mildest. Like, I was like, are these guys like his buddies, or like they were not good cop bad copping him. They were like good cop better copping him. It was like they were so mild. Like, anybody that watches, listen to that and thought that this was like a hostile, like they haven't seen other, like, what are, like, I wonder what is their version of a proper investigation. Like, they were asking him questions, they were warning him about the consequences of him lying, and they were doing it in the most mild, friendly way possible that I've ever seen investigators do. And when people's like, oh my, yeah, he was being scared to change his position, I was like, I want to see what do you think the investigators are supposed to do? Like, they were questioning him, and they were digging in deeper to see what exactly he was saying, and if they, like, how the people that think that was too unfriendly or too hostile towards him, I wonder how they imagine an investigation would go. It's supposed to go, because it was not at all hostile. But anyways, listen.
My name is Richard Hopkins. I am the postal employee who came out and whistle blew on the Erie, PA Postal Service, postal office. I am right at this very moment looking at a article written by Washington Post. Says that I fabricated the allegations of ballot tampering. I'm here to say that I did not recant my statements.
Okay.
That did not happen. That is not what happened. And you will find out tomorrow. And I would like that the Washington Post recant their wonderful little article that they decided to throw out there out of random. My name is Richard.
Okay, let's continue.
Newspapers don't recant, they retract, dumbass. Okay.
No. All right. I am going to play his own recording once we finish reading this article. So let's continue.
Okay. The video was flagged by Twitter as a claim about election fraud that is disputed. President Trump retweeted it anyways. I mean, like that was going to stop him. Calling Hopkins a, quote, brave patriot, and claiming that more and more people are stepping forward to expose this rigged election. Backing down on the claims. Breaking down the claims. Sorry, dyslexia jumping out. So even if Hopkins' claims are true, the ballots would not have had an impact on the outcome of the presidential election in Pennsylvania. On Tuesday, election officials said that only 1 in 10,000 mail-in ballots arrived after Election Day, just a small fraction of the 50,000 votes President-elect Joe Biden won the state by. So that's his margin. What's more, election officials in Erie County also said that only 129 of those late arriving ballots came from voters in the county. In fact, according to the Erie Times News, which reviewed the 129 late ballots with election officials, only 2 of them were even processed in the facility Hopkins worked in. In a series of tweets, Times News reporter Matthew Rink, who wrote the aforementioned article, dove even deeper into the veracity of Hopkins's claims. I reviewed all the envelopes of late arriving ballots Tuesday morning. Only 2 with a November 3rd postmark were from the Erie facility. However, 9 others postmarked in Erie had dates of November 4th or later, he wrote. But let's say Hopkins is telling the truth, he continued. The question then is, why would the Erie postmaster and the others backdates 2 ballots and not the other 9 without knowing which candidate received any of the votes on those ballots in the first place?
Right.
Because they're sealed. Scroll down. Oh wait, should we read that whole thread that he posted?
No. I mean, I think that they highlighted already the main parts of the tweet, right? It doesn't make any sense like that. Even if he's right, the conspiracy doesn't make any sense. Like, what would, like, oh, let's just do these few ones and then change the date, even though we have no idea who they voted for. Like, what kind of a conspiracy is that? Like, your conspiracy is like, at least if you want to come up with a conspiracy theory, make up one that will work somehow, makes sense, right?
Yeah,
but here's it.
The ballots when the post office receives them are blinded.
Yes, like, wow, genius plans, guys. Backdate just ran, like, that's gonna make Trump win. Like, just backdate a few random envelopes. Like, okay, but here's the thing. He doesn't even know what he heard. Hold on, let me actually look at the live chat for a sec. Afshin is saying, does Trump realize he is actually giving ammunition to dictatorships like Iran to point to USA and say, look, America's corrupt, Iran totally great open elections? Yeah, exactly. That's what.
If he does realize that, he does not care.
Yeah,
he cares.
That's what I pointed out in the last live stream, that this is really the people that are like, oh, save democracy, spreading this conspiracy theory is hurting democratic values all around the globe. But obviously Trump doesn't give a crap. But anyways, this is Project Veritas video themselves, right? Project Veritas themselves are actually, if you listen, this is like a 2-hour, first of all, he recorded the people who investigated him, right? I don't even know. He recorded the federal agents. I don't know if that's legal, but okay. And they posted this, and I wonder how many people actually listened to this, because he said he didn't. He said he didn't recant, right?
Yes.
But let's actually listen to his own recording of the investigation. Okay.
Well, he said that he didn't recant, and then James O'Keefe is alleging that he was intimidated.
Yeah. Okay, so this is he was being investigated by the federal agents, he was secretly recording them, and then they put the Project Veritas, they put this video, put the audio out there, but let's listen to it, okay? So you heard, okay, hold on.
Which you and I both.
So this is the investigators.
No, probably go together in a very specific sense.
Yes.
Right. But the reality of it, if I'm shaving away everything down to the narrowest truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, please don't let me put words in your mouth. The reality is, you heard words and you assumed what they were saying.
Okay. So look, the investigators are very, very careful. Okay, they're trying to tell me if this is what happened. Okay, but also they're saying, don't let me put words in your mouth. These investigators are being very, very careful by not suggesting something that he's not saying. Like, you could correct us right now if we're saying something that you didn't say, right? But and then after warning him about that, he say, like, is this what's happening? Because hold on, let me go a little bit earlier to make sure we understand how we got here.
I don't care. I just want it done properly.
Okay, so he was saying, I don't care who wins. I just want the election to be done properly. Okay, so that's how we got here.
Legally, there is a legal manner in this, and if we're picking up ballots, somebody's got a question. Why is nobody like, why are we doing this?
Okay.
And everybody, there was a bunch of people.
There's a lot of people that.
There are a lot of, okay, so the investigators are saying there are a lot of people that are saying, why are we doing this? Okay, so I'm going to drill down a little bit.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
So I'm going to drill down a little bit.
Okay.
Because you said something very significant. You may not have realized it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What you said is, and this is what I believe happened with one portion of this, and the portion I'm speaking about is what you overheard.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that these investigators are talking like this without knowing that they're being recorded, without this person talking, like he shouldn't be talking without having a lawyer present, and he's decided to talk to investigators without having a lawyer present. To me, it seems like, why are these federal agents at such perfect behavior?
Armin,
What?
Armin, they're likely recording this themselves.
No, he recorded this.
But they are also, I
Oh.
don't know, but I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah.
it is likely that the federal investigators were
Oh, yeah.
recording themselves.
I know, but usually when they don't know they're being recorded, okay, when stuff leaks, when
I'm
there's
saying
no...
that they probably were recording themselves, so they would know that they're being recorded.
Susie, I know, okay? What I'm saying is that usually, because they don't have to release this information unless they're forced or something, right? If they were to record stuff themselves, right? But I'm just saying, when they don't know they're being recorded by somebody else, okay, and when there's no lawyer present and something gets leaked, like if you watch a movie, they're like, your understanding is like, oh, the investigators are like doing everything improperly and they're so mean and it got leaked. Oh, but look, like it's so amazing at how properly these investigators are behaving without this guy having a lawyer present telling them that, oh, you can't ask that question, or no, you're putting words in his mouth, or you're being too hostile. They're like, so like, he like, listen, this is what I'm thinking. Don't let me put words in your mouth. Is this what actually happened? Be careful not to say this because you could implicate yourself. You could, if you lie here right now, this could be considered illegal. I'm like, holy crap! Are these the investigators, or are these this dude's lawyers? Right? They're so proper in this investigation that they come across as if they're his lawyers rather than the people that are trying to, instead of... I don't know what.
I don't think that's
It's
incredible. They are trained professionals that know that this will be examined with minutia, so they are preempting.
That's my point. They come across as trained professionals rather than like the conspiracy theory version people that have like, oh, investigators
The light
like
on your face and you're being slapped around.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, you're
Roll into the chair.
I know this is not surprising to you, Susanna, because you expect these investigators to be professional, but I'm saying that's my point. They come across as professionals who are being extremely careful about what they're saying. That's how they come across to me as, rather than this like, I don't know, like Hollywood version of investigators. Okay, but listen.
Why is your standard Hollywood, Armin?
No, that's what Susanna. I follow these.
Oh, you're saying that's what their standard is.
That's what they're saying. Like, if you listen to what these like, Susie, I
was like, hon, I know you're smarter than that.
Can I get a sentence out, please? Can you let me finish one sentence? I listen to people that think that these are reptilians, these are globalists funded by Zionists that are, hiding, drinking of blood of children. So excuse me if my standard for what is a little bit low, okay?
Okay, you have a point.
When it comes to what these people think that these federal agents are like and how they come across here, it's just like a world of difference. Anyways.
Specifically where I'm focusing on that. What you just said is, when we were talking about fire in the belly, is you said what I assumed I overheard.
Yeah, because I didn't specifically hear the whole story.
That's right.
I just heard a part of it, and I could have missed a lot of it.
And I could have, I just heard a part of it. He's admitting himself, and I could have missed a lot of it. Okay.
You heard words.
You heard. So the investigator says, okay, so you heard words, which you and I both know probably go together in a very specific sentence, right? God damn it. Like, look at this. This is like the investigator is as good as a lawyer for.
You and I both know probably go together in a very specific sentence.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. But the reality of it, if I'm shaving away everything down to the narrowest truth, right? Mm-hmm. The reality is, please don't let me put words in.
Look, he's not even saying the reality of it is like, and before he's saying what the reality is like, be careful if I'm misrepresenting you. Richard Hopkins, if I'm misrepresenting you, please tell me. Don't let me put words in your mouth. But is this the reality? Okay, what is the reality?
The The reality is you heard words and you assumed what they were saying.
My mind probably added the rest.
My mind, this is Richard Hopkins himself, and this is his own recording. He's telling the part that I'm alleging, the part that I'm accusing, the part that they didn't even say it. My mind probably added the rest. So what I'm accusing them of was not even in the sentence that I heard. With the sentence that I heard, what I'm alleging that they did was part of what I added to that conversation. That's what he's admitting.
What he inferred.
Yeah. I says, I understand that. I understand how okay, look at this.
I understand that.
No.
I understand how
You have
hearsay
to-
and
You have to
listening.
know, it seems so basic, Alex, but you have to know how important it is. That's why.
And that's why I was really mad when I heard that people were giving Rob death threats, because that's fucked.
It also doesn't paint you in a bad light. You understand that, right? What it does is it shaves this down to the narrowest of truths, which is the strongest of truths. And what I'm hearing you say, and I'm waiting for you to challenge me, okay? What I'm hearing you say is
they're doing such a great job, man. Like, challenge me if I'm wrong. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing. You could if I'm wrong, you could challenge me on this. Guy, wow, these people are like, oh, they were guys. They're saying he was being threatened. He was being they were threatening him. He was in fear. Like the investigators are like, this is what I'm hearing. Challenge me if I'm wrong. Where's the intimidation?
is you heard these words. And the words you heard was the fourth postmark. Most were the third. One was the fourth.
Yes.
Right?
Those were the specific words that I remember real well.
And then when you pieced those words together, you assumed what they were saying was the fourth, the mail on the fourth should have been postmarked for the third.
Yes.
That's what you assumed it meant.
That's what I'm figuring my mind probably gone to. Because even I've been questioning it at this point, because it's been so long and it's gotten me so freaked out.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm not trying to say that I don't want to be. I don't.
You know why it's okay to be freaked out? Because this has gotten out of everybody's hands.
My God, look at him. They're putting him at ease. He's like, yeah, I don't know what I heard. Maybe I just assumed. I don't know. I'm freaked out. And then I guess the office is like, it's okay. It's okay. I understand why you're freaking out. It's very intimate. Like it's getting out of everyone's hands. It's okay. Like they're calming him down. Oh my God. I love these officers. Like they're so nice. They're like, yes, I understand. It's like, it's not you. This is a very stressful situation. Okay. This is a very, where's the intimidation?
I understand.
It's gotten so.
And all it is
I love these officers. I want to be friends with this officer.
Wait, no. Back up. This is the biggest part.
okay.
Just like 5 seconds. Okay. Just play.
Postmark for the third.
Yes.
That's what you assumed.
Oh wait, the fourth. Okay, should have. Oh wait, the fourth. The mail on the fourth should have been postmarked for the third. That's what you assumed. Okay.
That's what I'm figuring my mind probably gone to. Because even I've been questioning it at this point.
Fine, yeah.
Because it's been so long and it's gotten me so freaked out.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm not trying to say that I don't want to be. I don't.
You know why it's okay to be freaked out?
Okay.
Because this has gotten out of everybody's hands.
I understand.
It's gotten so.
And all it is hearsay, and that's the worst part.
That's what I wanted to highlight. That's what I wanted to highlight.
Wow. They're not even putting words in his mouth. They're not even telling him. So it's here, like he's saying it. He himself is saying it.
Or it's.
Well, it's not even hearsay, is the thing. It's an assumption.
It's not even hearsay because you didn't even hear them say that. They're right. Yeah. So first of all, they didn't make him say hearsay. That was his understanding. Like, yeah, okay, this is all hearsay. But technically, it's not hearsay because he's adding in stuff that he assumed that they didn't even say. So he just assumed the parts that he wanted to assume. So it's worse than hearsay.
And that's the important thing. And if we characterize it as, this is what I thought those words meant, then there's no way that huge stones can be robbed, because that's very different than saying they said this.
Yes.
Right? We've gone from painting a probable to being 1,000% in your face accurate. Right? You see where I'm going with that? And that's all I'm doing with that conversation. Is because we know it's hard to hear there. I'm not saying
You're like, look, you're like, don't worry. Like, it's like, we're not like, it's understandable. It's hard to, we know it's hard to hear. Okay. That's all I'm doing with that conversation, is because we know it's hard to hear there. I'm not saying you didn't. Okay. So, wow. Oh, wow. We got a new member.
Bishamonten,
Yeah, Bishamonten. Thank you so much for being a new member. I appreciate that.
welcome to the Minionhood.
Welcome to the Atheist Republic family.
Yeah, I believe you did. Okay? I believe you can hear there because your ear is acclimated.
I believe you can hear there because your ear is acclimate. What does that mean?
You're saying your ear can acclimate, like,
Okay.
acclimate to the stimulus in your environment.
There's a lot of dead air there, which means if you would have said, I heard this word for word, and you would have given me this paragraph, I would have doubted you.
Yes.
Because I don't think that's possible. When
It's
I
not.
Correct.
said something in this tone to you, you didn't hear what I said.
Yes.
Right? So I believe we've gone from what's
Look, he's so careful. He's not even saying this is what happened. This is the case. He's saying I believe. So he's like, maybe we're wrong. I believe this is what's happening, right? So he's even careful about not making definite statements, right? So he's like, this is the officer saying, this is my understanding right now.
improbable to accuracy. And I believe the accuracy of the situation is you heard something that concerned you, and if
And added with all the stuff that was being brought.
Wow, even the officer didn't even have to say it. He said, like, yeah, I added the stuff. Like, the officer didn't even have to make that suggestion. He himself makes the suggestion. Look at this.
To accuracy. And I believe the accuracy of the situation is you heard something that concerned you,
And
added.
Look at him. Like he's making this so bad for him. Like, and added with all the stuff that was made.
With all the stuff that was being brought.
You assumed it means it is problematic.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, added with how they were treating these ballots. I was picking up these ballots with what I had heard and the assumption based on putting two and two together.
I'm gonna tell you why. One of the things I'm trying to protect you against. Okay. There is money involved.
Right. So the GoFundMe that Project Veritas started, they got this man in so much trouble right now because of that, right? Look, he doesn't have a lawyer present, and the officers are trying to protect him legally because he could get into serious legal trouble.
And you know that because
Richard Hopkins is like a major victim right now himself of this Project Veritas thing, because he started the GoFundMe stuff by their suggestion without talking to a lawyer first.
GoFundMe. I can't even touch it.
That's okay, but your name is associated with it.
Oh, that's
Yeah. So Project Veritas just went and started a GoFundMe in his name, and that was now and his name, like, it went from being anonymous to like, oh yeah, I'm using this to raise money. Okay. And they're like, look, he doesn't have a lawyer present. If he had a lawyer present, he would have been warned about all of this thing, and the officers are doing the job of the lawyers for him.
If I'm not scaring you, but I am scaring you, okay? If we are not 1,000% accurate with our honesty, and
look at this. Like, if you think if an officer was trying to like just nail this guy, they would have just gotten stuff from him that then they could have used to, make him like, use against him. But they're like, be careful here, okay? Be careful not to say something if it's not accurate, because this could come bite you in the ass.
it can be argued that money was gained by
This is what the job
I'm
of the
gonna say
lawyer.
assumptions. They're going to say deceptions.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you could be held accountable for.
Understood.
And I am not going to allow that.
This is accurate, okay? If the officer wanted to like do this man wrong, he would have they would have just let him say stuff that is like inaccurate, and then let himself get him in trouble because there's money involved, and this guy would be like would have a lot of legal troubles after that. But they're not letting him do that. They're being fair to him. They're like, okay, choose your words carefully. Be careful because there's money involved because of these Project Veritas people started a GoFundMe in your name without getting any legal advice beforehand, and now that's dangerous. So be careful not to say anything that could get you into trouble. Okay, so they're warning him before they proceed in what he's gonna say.
Okay.
That is why we're going to the exact words and the exact accuracy.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to.
See, like if you have agents with bad intentions, they will let you say stuff that could get you in trouble, and they tell you like, listen, motherfucker, we got you, okay?
Yeah.
So, right, right, like we got you. Like you're so screwed. You didn't have a lawyer present, and you now incriminated yourself, and now you're screwed, right? But they're like saying like, listen, be careful your next steps. Don't incriminate yourself. This is the stuff that could happen. Be careful about what you say. So now tell us exactly what the truth is, right? Every single step of the way, they're doing the job of an investigator and his own lawyer for him at the same time. I mean, it
I
doesn't
think
get
that's a bit of a stretch, but
yeah. I mean,
not
as good as
the feds to be my lawyer, but
no, you shouldn't. But I'm just no. Of course. Okay. This should never be able. Nobody should ever consider this as a replacement for a lawyer. It's like, of course not. You shouldn't. I don't know why he's even talking to agents without having a lawyer present. Like that's a really bad idea. Okay. And guys, by the way, disclaimer. Nothing we say here you should ever consider legal advice. Okay.
oh hell no.
Always talk to a lawyer. In fact, if anything we're saying here is that do not trust what we're saying of what legal advice is. Do not trust what Project Veritas says, and don't trust the officers either. Okay. Seek legal advice. That's my message. Like this guy is doing all of this without legal advice. Seek professional legal advice before you go out and throw out accusations out there, before you allege fraud, before you talk to reporters, and especially if you talk to federal or provincial or any agents, okay, any government agents, okay, get legal advice. And this is not, whatever we're saying here is not legal advice, okay? And yes, when I'm impressed with these officers, I'm not suggesting that this is at all ever a replacement for actually having a lawyer. I'm just like impressed by how careful they are being with this guy. Yes, hashtag not legal advice. Exactly.
I'll let you be put in that
Hold on.
situation. Okay. Most people, and this is, let me tell you how you're impressing me on this. Because most people would see dollar signs and be like, I'll say whatever the hell you want me to say.
Yes.
Okay. And what you just proved to me, that's not you. And I have to tell you, I respect you immensely. So thank you for being upfront.
Buttering him up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the truth needed to get out. That's all. I wanted this investigation to happen. That's why I even came out the first time. I wanted to be anonymous. I didn't want to come out.
Yeah, and Project Veritas throw you under the bus, but putting your name out there and putting a GoFundMe and anything. I like.
But
You didn't want to be the face of this.
no,
Am I correct with that? But if what you assumed was true, your pride in this country can't let you not act. Is that also fair?
yes.
Okay. Okay. What would you say? I'm making, just so you know, I'm making this up. This is not reality right now. I'm making this up. This is a hypothetical.
So,
What would you say if it came out that Rob did not say that? He used those words, but he was actually saying something else.
I would feel fucking horrible.
Would you believe that? Would you believe it's possible?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
It's possible.
Okay. That what I'm doing right now is I'm gauging your percentage on how
Uncertainty.
on how
Like, I know I'm not perfect.
exactly. Dude, I'm not perfect. Do you know how many people are perfect in this
It doesn't
building?
exist.
Nobody. Nobody's perfect.
Aw.
Dude, I have messed up.
This officer is so nice. Who is this officer? Is so nice. I love this
Armin,
officer.
stop being a simp. Oh my god.
Okay, like, dude, look at the officer. It's like, dude, look, I messed up.
And it happens. What I am literally doing right now is I am keeping something at it was an assumption and keeping it away from this is an integrity issue. I'm not gonna let your integrity be touched. And that's
Oh,
why I'm drilling you so hard. That you with me on that?
He's-
I understand.
You trust me on that?
Yes.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you. You need a break? You need a breath?
I could use a smoke.
Okay. I am
I
okay.
can imagine.
God damn it! I mean, if this is not a recantation, I don't understand what a recantation looks like to people. Right?
Yeah, and I think this highlights how it is a well-known fact that eyewitness testimony is not reliable. It's well documented in cognitive psychology how eyewitness testimony just it's not reliable. It's not like film that you can just roll back and replay completely without bias. The ways in which our brains encode memory itself requires, or it's not requires, but it's just a fact of how our cognition works, is that our memories are inherently distorted. Our memories are flavored with subconscious and unconscious biases.
Right.
And so it's a well documented fact that eyewitness testimony is not the most reliable form of evidence. And then, so there are people in the live chat alleging that the federal investigators are gaslighting him. I would like to say that people asking direct and pointed questions to ascertain the level of certainty that you have in your claim is not gaslighting.
Yeah, well, gaslighting, like, is this what happened? Okay, is this the new definition of gaslighting? Sir, is this what you're saying? Please don't let me put words in your mouth. Is this accurate? Is this what happened? How is that gaslighting? This is the farthest thing away from gaslighting. It's like is asking if this is what happened. Now the new definition of gaslighting. Like the people who saying that this guy was intimidated or he was being there were gaslighting going on. I want to really have the conversation with these people and know, like, what would they do as an investigator? Like, how could you, if this is gaslighting, how could you ask anybody a question and ask them, how much more careful do you have to be to make sure that you're not putting words in their mouth? Like, how would they ask these goddamn questions? Because based on these people's standards, no investigator will be able to carry out any investigation.
And Luke is bringing up a good point. Yay, skepticism, epistemology. So so they're not doing street epistemology, but street epistemology does rely on, with your interlocutor, gauging the certainty of their claims. You start with an approximation of how certain are you in your own claim. 100%. Give me a range, and then you drill down. That's not gaslighting. That's determining the strength and the methodology of someone's epistemology.
By the way, this is a problem with these conspiracy theories, like these fraud allegations, is that they keep coming, right? Like these are, like, right now I'm showing you like the top two, but it doesn't matter if we like show how ridiculous these are because they're making new ones already. Okay, like you're gonna tell them like, oh look, these were wrong, but they have moved way past these allegations. They already like came up with 5 or 10 new ones, and they don't even remember these old ones, right? They're like, okay, guys, you remember these fraud allegations that you had 3 days ago? Well, we looked into them. Like, wait, before you finish, here's 10 more. Well, can we actually look at these 2 that you had before and show you how ridiculous it is? Like, that was like 2.5 days ago, guys. Like, come on, catch up. We have 10 more fraud allegations for you right here. Like, but well, given that we looked at these ones that you told us before and how ridiculous they look now, I don't know if we can, like, you could come up with 50 more tomorrow. So, but every one that we managed to actually take a look at so far seems ridiculous. So excuse me if I'm not going to take you seriously when you come up with 50 new ones, right? But look at this one. Like, this is one of the other ones that people were saying that dead people are voting. Dead people are voting. I'm telling you, like, every time you look at each one of these and you wait a little, like, if you're just a tiny bit patient and wait for the actual information to get out, they come out as wrong. They come out as not just wrong, they come as ridiculously, laughably ludicrous. That's how they come out if you just wait and don't just believe these conspiracy theories.
Oh, they're talking about Kamala Harris. They're talking about something completely different in the chat.
Oh, okay. I don't know how we got to Kamala Harris, but hold
on. So, okay, play it. I'll mute myself.
Wait, hold on. I need to. Is this an ad? How come it's not playing?
What the hell?
Fox News host Tucker Carlson on Friday apologized to viewers after a local Georgia news outlet pointed out that he had made a false claim about a dead individual illegally voting in the state. On a Thursday evening segment of Tucker Carlson Tonight, the host claimed that someone had cast a ballot on behalf of James Blalock of Covington, Georgia, who passed away in 2006. On his show Friday, Carlson said, quote, "We've got some good news tonight and an apology. One of the people who voted in last week's election isn't dead. James Blalock is still dead. We told you about him, but it was his wife who voted. She voted as Mrs. James Blalock. It's old-fashioned, and we missed it."
Okay, so just for the people that think that this might be fake news. Okay, first of all, let's. So this was the allegation. Mr. James Blalock of Covington, Georgia, a World War II veteran, voted in the election. The only problem, he passed away 14 years ago in January 2006. Sadly, Mr. Blalock is a victim of voter fraud. And this is what actually came out. Facts confirmed by the Georgia's. So this is actually somebody who went and took a look by the Georgia's Republican Secretary of State's office and 2 county election supervisors. Trump won. Okay. Dead Jackson voter was alive. A woman with same name. Dead Newton voter was legally registered as Mrs. and her husband's name. So this is the person. She's alive. Okay. Her husband did indeed die in 2006, but Angus Blalock did not use his ballot to vote absentee. Trump campaign got a list of voters without Mrs. or Misters. So Mrs. James Blalock was listed as just James Blalock. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, so he's saying we checked, they didn't. So there's somebody that actually went to spend the time to go look, and so amazing what an actual investigative journalist can do, as opposed to blindly repeating claims invented by the internet. And here's actually the Tucker Carlson issues a correction and gives an apology after falsely claiming that a deceased individual had voted in Georgia. He goes on to assert that he was correct, however, about other dead voters, even though the other report he mentioned was debunked as well.
We got some good news tonight and an apology. One of the people who voted in last week's election isn't dead. Now, James Blalock is still dead. We told you about him. But it was his wife who voted. She voted as Mrs. James Blalock. It's old-fashioned.
She's so cute.
A whole bunch of dead people did vote. We showed you their names. We proved it. But James Blalock was not among them. It was Mrs. James Blalock. So apologies for that. And of course, we're always going to correct when we're wrong. And
see, this is, why I have to play this, because people, every time something goes against their narrative, they're going to be like, oh, this is fake. This guy is fake news. This is the Hill is fake news. Everybody who's saying something that we don't like is fake news. So I have to only play. The only way to make them like, maybe this is not fake news, is to like play one of their gods. It has to come from out of the mouth of this guy for them to believe something. And they be like, oh guys, you guys believe everything you hear, blah blah blah. And no, it's you guys who believe everything you hear, as long as the right people, the people that you worship, say it. But that was that. Hussein is saying highlight Abu Lahab. He has another conspiracy. I mean, what? Like, what's the point? If we highlight that, we're gonna tomorrow. We're gonna show how ridiculous that is. But as soon as we come up, we show that how ridiculous that one is. They already have 5 more. Like, do you think this is gonna stop? Do you think these conspiracies are gonna stop? You keep shutting them down. They come up with 10 more. What is that monster called in ancient Greek?
The
guy
Hydra.
that Hydra. Yes, Hydra. It's a Hydra. Okay.
This
cut
is
off
what
one-
he's on about. The Dominion electoral software.
Okay, we haven't looked into that, but it's going to be like these ones. I'm telling you. But again, once we look into that and show you how ridiculous that is, they've already moved on to something else. They've already moved on to a new conspiracy. Like I'm telling you, every time you look into these, I don't know.
The
3,000.
headless Hydra is what you're thinking of.
Hmm?
The headless Hydra.
The headless Hydra. Yes. You know, I think when we say Hydra, people think about Marvels, but the Marvels Hydra was named after the Greek Hydra. Okay, so the original Hydra. When we say Hydra, you shouldn't think Hail Hydra. You should think the Greek creature monster who, when you cut the head off, 10 will actually, yeah,
You're such
because
a nerd. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Hail Hydra.
Yeah. No, I
You don't-
don't care.
Okay. 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 Hussein is saying, true, just wait 2 months and they will never bring this crap up again and move on to Trump 2020.
No,
Yes,
they'll
guys,
bring
by
it
the
up
way,
again. They'll bring it up again.
yeah, but here's the thing, these people will never lose. Okay, do you think the people are gonna go home like, oh, I guess we lost? No, they will be like, this was fraud. By the way, Trump is gonna come back in 2024, so we're gonna win anyways. Oh, if he loses in 2024, they're gonna like, well, we have Trump TV now, so that's the real revolution anyways. They're gonna come up with something. They will come up with something other than we lost. Okay, they're gonna like, let me just come up with a prediction. Okay, some people are gonna say, you know what, this is better anyways because Trump is gonna make the real influence now. Oh, now that he's not president, I'm just making this up, okay? But this is what I would do based on if I was MAGA and I was thinking like a MAGA. This is how I would operate. This is how my mind operates. Oh, you know what? Trump was holding back as president. Now that he's been unchained, now the real revolution is going to be started because I have to figure out a way that we're the winner. Okay, I cannot cope with losing. Okay, we're the winners somehow. We're the winners somehow. Come on. All right. And then,
gosh.
okay, here's another prediction. Okay, Trump is really old. Okay, and he's gonna die one day. Okay, everyone dies at some point. But guess what? Not Trump. It's an assassination. He was talking too much. That's what again. I'm just making this up as we go, but it's probably gonna be like, oh, he was gonna win. He's gonna come back as president, but they couldn't have that. They're like, nope, he was eliminated. The deep state took him out. Okay, guys, he's like 70. So, he's like 70. How old is he? 74, right?
I think so.
So if he wants to run again, he's going to be like 78. Okay, it's not crazy for a 78-year-old man to die. Okay, it's not crazy. Okay, but I'm pretty sure if he dies, I'm almost sure that it's going to be the deep state. People are going to say it was a deep state. Okay, that's another thing. I'm just putting it out there.
So if it prioritize this whole video.
No, I'm just letting you know that once this happens, once Trump dies, because it's gonna happen pretty soon now. He's like almost 80 now, right? Especially if before 2024 he's gonna be almost 80. So once that happens, I'm saying this so I could come on back and brag. Okay, somebody clip this part out. Somebody clip this part out. So when there's accusations, when there's like all like conspiracies about assassinations, we could be like, I could be like, I told you so. Okay.
That's what matters to you.
Well, okay, yeah, Biden is like old too. So what's gonna happen? He dies. Go like, yep, it was It was like this is a conspiracy. What was a conspiracy? They didn't want him to be president. It was Kamala. Kamala Harris was supposed to be president, and that's why they took him out. They took him out. He's dead now. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, let's go in this here. Wow, we finished under an hour, guys. Let me tell you. What did you learn from this video? You learned from this video that we are on the side of federal agents and the deep state.
Facts.
So, what do you think is going to happen if we don't get things our way?
Oh no.
So, what do we want you to do? We want you to subscribe, and remember, we are like bootlickers and making we're protecting federal. Who does that? Who tries to make federal agents look good? Who tries to defend the deep state? Okay, only the people that are part of the deep state. Okay, so, and you know what the deep state is, what they can do. I'm not worried. This is not a threat. Again, this is not a threat. I'm just letting you know that it might be a good idea for you guys to subscribe. Okay, given what you know we're capable of. Okay, just not a threat. Just consider your options. Okay.
Oh
Anyways.
boy.
All right. Bye.